So 100 Thieves announced a few days ago that they've acquired an entire keyboard company called High Ground. With that came a pretty sick looking capsule that sold out in 4 minutes. It includes a jelly tote bag, this hoodie, and a 65% mechanical keyboard that might actually put the thieves in 100 Thieves. You ready? Let's go! So my capsule arrived in this crazy clamshell box with the hoodie, the bag, and a whole ass mountain, which had the keyboard stored underneath and behind plexi. Pretty nuts. The bag, priced originally at $35, is a pretty simple crossbody in translucent red with the 100 Thieves and High Ground logos and this topographical print that's a running theme across this whole capsule. Sorry, Frank. The hoodie went for $90. It is super nice. If 100 Thieves was just a hoodie org, they're definitely executing this part correctly. This runs large, is very thick, has a double-lined hood. All the printing is solid. Overall design on this thing is really dope. It's actually so warm, it's why I'm not wearing it in the rest of this video. The quality really matches the price point here. This is not some Gildan. This is legit. The board itself originally went for $135. It's a basic 65%, so you do have dedicated arrows and 4 extra keys on the far right. The case is plastic. There's no logos anywhere. For those of you who know a thing or two about keyboards, this is a basic GK or RK Royal Kludge similar platform that has some tweaks. It is a very generic OEM feel, similar to the Matrix Elite. Depending on your level of interest or experience in keyboards, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. You just have to remember that it's the branding and the exclusivity that sold this board, so it's important to understand what to expect in terms of quality. I'm not sure what your keyboard will arrive in, probably not a mountain. Mine came in the High Ground orange packaging with no 100 Thieves branding anywhere to be found. Also included is a High Ground branded wire keycap puller, an OEM switch puller, and the most basic USB-C cable around. It's disappointing to not see the 100 Thieves branding carried throughout. Back on the board itself, the plate is that basic silver aluminum OEM plate. Pretty thin, mine came with one corner mushed in. The PCB is in orange, it supports 5-pin north-facing switches, the sockets are Gateron, included switches are Gateron Reds, but this being hot swap, you can put whatever switches you like in here. It is USB-C and it's center mounted. We also have a silicone dampening layer in orange between the plate and the PCB, which helps to mute some of the hollow sound that we normally see with these cases. While there is no included case foam in the bottom, there is plenty of room for it or a silicone pour if you want to dampen it further. Stabilizers are plate mount here. These are OEM special as well, but they do actually include some factory lube and it's surprisingly effective. There's no real rattle. With the board being hot swap, these are easily accessible if you ever want to tune or replace them. The keycaps are really the star of the show here due to there not being any branding on the case itself. They originally offered these separately for $50. If you already have any 65% that has 3 single U mods to the right of the spacebar and you really want this look, this would be the much smarter secondary market pickup, as the boards themselves are already fetching as much as $400 for confirmed orders on eBay. Reverse dye sub is always tough to nail, but these look pretty good. The black is not like black, but more like a dark charcoal. Logos and all the topo stuff looks good. Aside from the High Ground type logo hit on the inner key and the 100 Thieves on the spacebar, there are no legends on the actual top of the keycaps. They've moved all the legends down to the front face, which would normally look really clean, except for the top row here where they've included the primary, secondary, and function legends as well. It makes it look really cluttered, and their mountain snowfall pattern interferes with some of the legends on the right side of the board. The keyboard feels good enough with the Gateron Reds. These are a linear switch. I do have full sound tests at the end of this video that have the full breakdown for the board in stock form, as well as some nicer lubed switches, some sound dampening in the lower case, and a re-lube job on the stabilizers. All in all, the stabs sound better than I anticipated, and that layer of sound dampening is actually doing some work in there. The only thing I'm picking up on is a little hint of that case resonance that we've come to expect from these plastic lower tray mount boards. Most people who have never experienced the high-end pre-built or dove into customs at all would probably be totally fine with taking this out of the box and running it stock, or simply upgrading the switches. In terms of features, we do have a Mac compatibility mode, there is software available, and the board supports hardware control of the RGB as well. The lighting saturation is good, and there are 19 different stock animations. Almost all of these are just basic OEM animations that you've seen before, rebranded with clever marketing names like Downhill, Light Bike, and Silva Surfer. There's also plenty of alternate shortcuts with the function key and a key press, and some very basic key rebinding, but no function layer rebinding. That's unfortunate because their default layout has the tilde key on the far right instead of function escape, where the home key would normally be. In terms of value, I just gotta call it what it is. This is a low-tier OEM keyboard with some silicone dampening and some hard-to-get die-sub PBT keycaps. Oddly, a couple of High Ground's offerings have Bluetooth. This board does not. They're all priced the same as well. So for those of you watching purely for value, yes, you could buy a similar quality board keyboard with wireless from anywhere from $50 to $75 on Amazon or at Keychron. It's a flexible enough platform that you can do some really basic mods and make it a decent board. The problem is you're clearly paying a pretty steep premium for the branding and the aesthetic. This keyboard is aimed at users who love 100 Thieves and don't know or care a lot about keyboards. There's just not $135 worth of keyboard here, and I definitely wouldn't feel comfortable paying any kind of markup at all from an online scalper. I've been approached by numerous companies about doing a similar quality board but Bad Seed Tech branded, and I just won't put my name on something like this. Chances are High Ground repurposed some of their existing keyboard inventory with this new keycap set. I could be wrong there, but I don't feel like I am. It is worth a note though that Baron Lee, formerly of HyperX, has joined High Ground. HyperX has always had some solid pre-built boards, so between his manufacturing connections and the talent and budget of 100 Thieves, I would skip this board and hopefully be on the lookout for bigger and better things from High Ground in the future. So if you watch the channel regularly, you've probably heard me talk about Nebula. If you're not familiar, Nebula is an independent streaming platform built by me and a lot of other creators you've probably heard of, like Devin, the Legal Eagle, iPhonedo, and the stream professor himself, Epos Fox. We created Nebula so we had a place to upload whatever we wanted to outside of the influence of the YouTube algorithm. You can find exclusive content, podcasts, download videos to watch offline later, and it's all presented completely ad-free. And the best way to get access to Nebula is through CuriosityStream, the sponsor of today's video. CuriosityStream is the world's leading documentary streaming platform with thousands of really high-quality, high-budget documentaries, and they're adding new content all the time. They just added season 4 of The Butterfly Effect, and it maps out all these events in history that paved the way for discoveries that completely change how we live today, anything from fluid mechanics to chaos theory. As you know, CuriosityStream loves to support independent creators, so they've partnered up with Nebula. You can get a bundle deal to get access to both CuriosityStream and Nebula for 26% off, or $14.79 per year, not per month, per year, and you get access to the entire catalog of both CuriosityStream and Nebula. If that sounds like a good deal to you, head over to curiositystream.com/badseedtech to sign up. Big thanks to CuriosityStream for continuing to support the channel, and thank you for your time. I know how valuable it is, and this channel simply wouldn't be what it is without the support from our sponsors. All right, any questions about anything, hit me in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay up.